In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla. Okay, so this is terrible. I should know this. Framework Cinema, is that you, Will? Because if that's the case, I totally saw your hard-boiled egg comment in one of my live streams. That would be my nephew who made the video last night. And actually, it's worked. We've had like 380 new followers come on board just by him simply showing people how to do it. And that was kind of cool, how to invite people to follow. So much appreciated there. We're 7 away from 80,000. I'm all stoked. Okay, 26 degrees in Gina, but this is kind of a cool view here. We have that camera that's up at about 250 feet. I'll put it back to a sky view pretty soon, but you can see the melting already happening down there. Even though it's 26, the sun works its magic, let me tell you. Oh man, I get so used to having like 1,200 viewers in here. 85, hey, that's cool. We'll still do this though, I guess. 30 degrees, Alexandria, dew point's 25, and we have a special guest to welcome back here. Everyone's been waiting. There she is. Toledo Bend, the power's back on, and we have that camera back up. You can see why the bridge was closed down. Still some crust on the side of the road there. Looks like everything's up and rolling, and we have some steam on the lake this morning, so that is a tour of the cameras. Extreme cold warning until noon. Oh, look at that. It just disappeared over a chunk of Texas. We're going to be doing that dance as this kind of goes away. It goes away at noon for us, but, you know, the worst of that part is over. So I mentioned flurries in the little lead in here, and I'll get to that because I wasn't just saying that to be funny. We're still at around, let's see, I'm going to retotal this. We're at 10,009, 13,400. I feel like, what game show was that? Oh, goodness. Oh, it was the $25,000 pyramid when he'd go and count the numbers up. That's kind of how my head works. So, yeah, I can go and it's like 253, 5, blah, blah, whatever. So, yeah, rest in peace, Dick Clark. 26 degrees, Alexandria, 20 in Faraday. They were at 15 at last check. So, things are warming up around here. We saw a low of 19 out at the airport, 2 degrees warmer than our forecast, and I will take an error like that any day of the week. We do have wind chills still down in the teens and 20s, even though the wind's pretty light. It's cold, so that's where we are. We have cold weather in place. This is abnormally cold for Louisiana, but it happens every once in a while. Future wind gusts today. We're not going to see much of a wind out there, unlike yesterday where the wind chimes were chiming if they were not frozen solid. Frost here still showing 19 on your app. That'll probably update here shortly, I'm thinking. If it's my app, it should, because we were 23 last hour. They do triangulate a bit between observation points if you're not right next to one. And Essler might have been a degree or two colder. But yeah, it should warm up now. Light winds today. 45 degrees. So why am I talking about snow flurries? Why would I do that to you? Watch this. Just a second. You see that? Just that little blip right there. And so I'm thinking, whatever. And so that goes away. Okay, that's gone. And then I went over to the GFS model, and I go through all the models in the morning, but just as I'm sitting there doing my morning routine and looking at things, I then go to the GFS, and oh, there it is. Just this little thing of blue up there. So let me show you why it's possible, it's just unlikely. So there's a wave moving through in the upper levels, pretty decent little wave here. We are just so incredibly dry at the surface. So I look at these atmospheric profiles, and above, like right there where that yellow is, that's actually where that's the snow growth region. I'm not going to get into it. But that's where you want upward motion. That's where you want moisture to be. And we actually kind of have that. We have weak upward motion. We have moisture there. Those lines are close together. But below that, the dew point drops to like minus 30 Celsius. And you can see this huge gap right here. That's all dry air to overcome. So I do think there will actually be snow showing up on radar this evening. It's going to be tough to squeeze out a flake or two at the ground because it's so incredibly dry down here. I did add a 10% in because it seems like that dry air every once in a while, it gets a little friendlier than forecast, and we do get a flurry or two down here, but you will have school tomorrow. It's not going to be anything crazy, and as I go through the rest of this model, you can see our system toward the weekend here for Thursday into Friday. Not much, maybe some flurries, and then maybe this bottoms out here over the eastern seaboard and creates a pretty decent snowstorm. I'm glad I'm not forecasting out there. I'll leave that to my buddy Nick Pittman up in New Jersey with Norcast Weather. He can deal with that. This one is not for us. Not to where I'm going to have to sit here for 6 days and stare at the weather, which I like, but you know, every once in a while you want to back away from the screen. 0.01, that's not much through the next 7 days. That's mainly going to be the Thursday night into Friday system. It's going to get cold after that, another big time cool down. I posted a thing yesterday on when you should drip your faucets. I'm not an expert. I actually, and I want to read you this tip too, because I think there's some nuance to that, as there is anything in life. And let me read you what my friend Dan Nyman read to, or what he sent to me. And Dan, he does Panhandle Weather with Chris Smith over in Panama City, Florida. He said, "I just read your Facebook post about dripping faucets. My dad told me his dad's a home builder and he deals with this stuff. He said my dad told me when I bought a house, 12 hours below freezing, 8 hours below 28, or 4 hours below 24 is when it's time to drip." I think that's a pretty good tip too. So I'm never going to give you exact stuff. I don't want your pipes to blow up because you listen to the weatherman talk about plumbing. But this weekend, we're going to need to drip them once again, and maybe even tonight with a low of 25. We have some cold stuff here. We don't have anything really wintry in the forecast, and beyond this, I think we're going to slowly warm things up. Now, here's the thing. We are way below our climatological average of like mid-50s, upper 50s across central Louisiana. So we have a ways to go before we get out of the blue here, but it's going to feel nice when we get back to 60, I think. It looks pretty dry here, though. I do think around next Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in that time frame, we're going to see some rain move through. 14 overnight in Simpson, 26 in Balmy at Darlene's house, 25 in Grant and on Dyson Creek Road. Yeah, it's cold still. You're going to still see things start melting out there early with the sun coming out. That's why I tell people don't, if you can, avoid the roads when it's dark out. And then once that sun comes up, even if it's below freezing, I mean, you can see it in the teens and it'll still be melting things off. So, yeah, be careful, all that good stuff. But I think we're on the backside of this thing. And while there are still problems up north and we still have power outages across a chunk of our area, I'm hoping to see those go away for today. That's it for right now. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday. I'm finally getting track of where the days are and all that good stuff. I will see you back here then. And of course, if I see anything pointing toward a flurry or two tonight, we're going to be like wall-to-wall coverage for that. You know how we roll. All right, I'll see you later.